From 150 Music in Houston, Texas, you're listening to the Songwriter Snack Time Show. This is the show about songwriting, making records, and doing what we love. My name is Josh Walker, and in this very first episode, you're going to be introduced to an amazing singer and songwriter, Sarah Grace. Sarah is most well known for being on season 15 of the hit TV show The Voice. We talk about her journey as an artist and her songwriting process, and also find out what her favorite snack is. And at the end of the episode, she's going to play an original tune for us. So without waiting, I hope you enjoy the show. This Songwriter Snack Time show is really my mission statement is that it's a show about making songs and the process of doing what we love. Mm-hmm. So for people that don't know who you are, I'm going to preface this story by kind of how I learned about you. Is I was doing some searching on Houston singer-songwriters, and your name came up, and I was like, oh, I listened. I think I was on Reverb Nation. So I just
interesting.
Listened. Yeah.
I didn't know we had anything on there.
Oh, yeah. I think it's older stuff, to be honest with you.
Oh, good.
Well, I listened to it, and I was like, man, she's really good. Let me reach out to her. So then I found her on Instagram and just instantly reached out to you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, you're doing really cool stuff. And that was really cool that you responded. And then my wife was like, I think she was on TV. I think she was on The Voice. And I was like, oh, for real? I was like,
oh my gosh, that's crazy that you didn't know about that before you reached out to me. That's so cool.
I didn't even know. I was just looking for people that were writing songs, singer, and they were just talented people and just, were doing cool stuff. Mm-hmm. So that was cool. And then my wife was like, are you sure? Like, I think she's pretty popular right now. I'm like, oh man, it kind of put me on a nervous I was like, you're not helping me, babe. That was a big part of a big moment, I guess, in your journey as a songwriter, as a singer.
Huge.
But take me back to leading up to that platform of being on The Voice. What was it like? I mean, you're super young, right? Aren't you
16.
16? Okay, goodness. So take me back before you got that opportunity. Were you writing songs, singing? What was your life like before that?
Yeah, I love this question. So before I went on The Voice, I had been in my band for about 4 years. So we'd been playing around Houston. We were playing venues like the Mucky Duck, House of Blues, and we loved music, so that's why we were playing. And I've always been in the band with my little sister Reagan, on the drums. Mm-hmm. And we just kept adding members that became part of our family. So my bass player Daniel Holder, who's still with me. He was in our band for 3 of those 4 years, and so it's been really cool to just have a family and be able to play music for people and have everyone who I play music for come be a part of that family too. So that's been really cool.
Those people still play with you currently?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I know your sister is here, but
yeah. I got a new guitar player, and he is so amazing. January of this year, his name's Clay Melton. He also plays around Houston. So
cool.
So if you want to have him out for one of these, he'd be great.
Oh man, yeah.
I'll tell him all about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been playing with my band for about 3 years. Well, for about 4 years before I went on The Voice, and I'd been writing original music. We had an EP out, but it was with my old band name, Campfire Soul, and that was way throwback. And the EP has songs like Amazing Grace and Rather Go Blind on it, which are both songs that I performed on The Voice. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of cool because people were like, "Oh wow, that's so cool that The Voice introduced you to this song," and I was like, "No, I've been singing Etta for a long time."
What about the arrangement of Amazing Grace? Was that was
the House of the Rising Sun and Amazing Grace song?
Yeah, so that was your arrangement, you.
No, okay, so
tell me
but
that was they were saying your little bio online says you made your stamp with the Amazing Grace song.
Yeah, for sure. I'd definitely say that. So that song was given to me in a CD of all of these other gems, and it was all of these blues songs before I was into the blues, because you know I was 10. Yeah. So when you're a 10-year-old girl, you're not just I love the blues out of nowhere, Right. And so someone gave me the CD that had all of these awesome blues songs on it, but the one that really stood out to me was Amazing Grace to House of the Rising Sun, because we had only been playing for a couple years, so I only knew a couple chords. I was only I can only play A minor C D F, which are the chords in House of the Rising Sun. But since I was 11, couldn't really sing the lyrics of House of the Rising Sun yet. So hearing that arrangement, I was like, this is perfect. Like, now I understand, like, what the blues are about. It's about communication and, like, just feeling better about it, like, redemption and all of those things. And so that arrangement has stuck with me since I heard it on that CD, and we've been performing it since then. So then when I went on The Voice, that was definitely on my bucket list. Like, I was like, I really want to play this song.
Wow.
And they waited until the top 10 to let me do it. Like, they were like, no, you're not going to do that. And then top 10, they were like, hey, you know what? This week would be a good week for Amazing Grace. And then I played trumpet when I performed it, I became the first trumpet player ever on The Voice. So
That's
it was really cool to get to, like, represent young female musicians.
Yeah.
Because when I was growing up, like, I didn't see a ton of young female musicians on TV. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of TV, but from the TV I did watch, I never saw, like, young girls playing instruments. And so getting to do that has been really cool, having, like, other young girls reach out to me and be like, yeah, dude, I play the trumpet too, and like, I was going to quit, but then I saw you and now I'm not. And I'm like, cool. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's so awesome. Cool.
That's awesome. So your sister plays drums in your band, correct? So, and then I saw on Facebook where your mom recently turned 21, I think. So tell me, one of the things I was thinking about was, tell me that, I mean, even the idea that you talked about where some of the people that you played with 4 or 5 years ago are still in your community. What's it like to have part of your family and your band and the support from your family? Like, what's that mean to you?
Yeah, this was the one question. So when I was on The Voice and we did those interviews, I was like, I'm not going to cry because I'm not going to be a sob story. I was like, I'm here to sing and that's it. This is the one question that they got me to cry on, but I spoiled the shot by holding a tissue, so it's fine. But they... having my family support is, like, I wouldn't be doing this without them.
Yeah.
Just having them, like, pay for lessons and take me to shows and sit through the shows where there were only 3 people and listen to me singing and playing, oh my gosh, learning trumpet, listening to a beginner trumpet, like,
that was painful.
You have to be a saint to do that. So I'm really grateful that I not only have my family support, but that I get to do this with my family. My dad is a Houston firefighter, and, like, he didn't play any instruments before I wanted to
What about your mom?
play music. She's an audiologist.
Okay.
Yeah, but so she's a little busier. Didn't really have time to pick up an instrument. But my dad learned to play guitar so that we could have a band with each other.
Cool.
And
so you would sing and he would play?
Yeah, I would sing and I played, and he would play, and then Reagan would play drums, and so we had a little trio going for a while.
Wow.
Yeah, we played, like, U2 and
Why did Reagan
Voco.
gravitate towards the drums?
Why did you gravitate towards the drums?
Come on,
Like,
make it into the show.
she's like, nah.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm out. I don't know. I think it's kind of because, like,
Because he had the guitar.
Yeah.
Were you playing keys at
Well,
the time?
actually, I started on guitar, and then I switched to piano because I was like, oh, guitar hurts my fingers.
Yeah.
And it was, like, big, and my fingers were small and stuff.
Yeah.
So I switched to piano, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Reagan, but I think, like, the reason that you gravitated towards drums was, like, you kind of wanted to just be different, like, different from all, She wanted to be different from not only me, but, like, other female musicians, you know?
Right.
Like, a lot of times when I ask people to guess what instrument she plays, they're like, does she play the flute or the violin? And I'm like, no. She plays the drums. And she's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so this is the last question about The Voice, I promise. But
no worries.
What was like the one takeaway from that experience? Like, the thing that stood out to you the most?
Oh my gosh.
How has that impacted you? Like, I guess if you try to narrow it down to the most important thing that now you're thinking about because of those experiences.
Okay.
That's a big question, sorry.
I would definitely say, like, the thing that I feel like is going to last the longest from The Voice is all the friends that I made.
That's cool.
Like, and the connections, not only just friends, but connections. Like, Kelly Clarkson is so kind.
Who's that? No, I'm just kidding.
Right, I know.
Kidding.
No, she's like so kind and like willing to help out her artists from the show. But like the friendships that I made with the other contestants and like the voice band.
I always wonder, like, is that real or is that people like just, oh, we're just buddies for this moment?
Oh
like,
no, it's real.
Like,
it's
there's
real.
a connection there.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And like you go in thinking like, oh, this is a competition, like no one's gonna be nice. But then you're there for so long and like it doesn't even feel like you're competing most of the time. It just feels like everyone's making their own music.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about the show that I didn't really like was that it was a competition, but obviously it has to be a competition.
Yeah.
Because I just don't feel like music should be a competition. But it was so fun. Like I learned so much. Those were my first vocal lessons ever, the ones that I had on the show.
Wow.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
I learned like what being in a professional like television situation was like, which is crazy. Like such a valuable like training for like real life after that.
Yeah. Let's get into songwriting for a second because this is primarily for songwriters. So here's the first question I was thinking about. What makes, in your mind, a song good?
Yeah.
So, we probably all write songs, and at the end of the day, we're like, we think maybe it's good, and then it's not very good or something. But, like, or you may be like, do you ever get stuck on a song, and you, like, listen to it over and over again?
One of my songs? Or
No, not necessarily. It doesn't have to be your song.
Okay.
But it can happen. The other day, I was writing a song, and it was just like, I was on cloud 9 because I thought I had a good idea all day long.
Yeah.
I was just pumped. It was just in my head. So, like, what makes a song to you good? I mean, I know good is subjective, but for you, like, what?
Yeah,
what
that's a
makes that
hard
good?
question. It's a simple question, but
Yeah.
it's hard at the same time. I would definitely say melody. Like, if it's a melody that you're singing later, like, that is, like, priceless. Melody, and I think space is really important. Like, I think leaving moments in your song for someone to breathe or for, like, a solo or something is so important, like, and changes. I think not every song needs, like, a million chords in them, but, and I don't think chords are the only way to change the mood of a song, but I think changing, like, the rhythms, like maybe have the drums bring it down to like just hi-hat in a section or something. And I think like changing different sections, like giving variety to people is so important. And I also think a build is really important, but that's more about production than like songwriting.
Right. Well, it kind of feels like production oftentimes, if the song is good and the arrangement is solid, then the production around it can either enhance that or take away from that sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like if you add a ton of like doobity doo-wops, like it's like, oh no, it was such a good song, like just strip it back down to where it was,
Yeah. So for you, when you have musical ideas, and you go to a school, you said of like it's the Houston
High School for the Performing and Visual Arts.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We have a really obnoxious bumper sticker.
Like it says that?
It spells the whole thing out.
It
and
must
now,
be really long.
Oh, it is. It like wraps around the entire car. It's ridiculous.
That's crazy. You have one on your car? Did Dad say yes on that?
So we don't. Just because
like, no.
we're not that crazy. But I do love my school.
Yeah, so like you're surrounded by creative people. So like when you have creative ideas for songs, like is it usually like a lyrical story, or is it like lyrics or phrases that pop in your head, or are you playing first and then the ideas come from what you're playing? So music or lyrics, basically.
Oh, it changes. Like my songwriting process is very fluid. A lot of times I start with a melody idea, and I use my phone to record everything just because
like the voice memo app.
Yeah, I use the voice memos and the notes. Just because I don't always have a notebook. Like I was talking to some songwriters the other day, and they were like, "Oh, I always use paper. Like I never write on my phone just because it's the wrong way to write music." And I was like, there's no wrong way to write music.
Exactly.
And the great thing about using my phone is that it's with me everywhere. This is not a commercial for a phone though. But but yeah, so I write on my phone. Like in the middle of the night, if I have an idea, I'll just record it. I did that last night when I was going to bed.
Cool.
And my sister was like, stop singing. And I was like, it's only 11 seconds, I promise. And then like if like I have a lyric vault in my notes, and it just has a bunch of like phrases that I feel like would make good songs. Usually like phrases that turn into the title of the song or like the hook of the song.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I'll try to take like if I'm stumped, like a lot of times I'll just have an organic idea, like a phrase that comes with a melody, like in my head, like I'll be like, oh, Ain't no rest for Freddie Jones. And then I'll put that, like, I'll be like, that comes together, you know, already. And then sometimes I'll take a lyric out of my lyric vault and a melody out of my melody, like,
And see
thing.
if they work together.
And then try to put them together, especially if the vibes feel right. And then another thing that I play around with, because sometimes I'll write a song and I'll be like, wow, that had so much potential, but it went horribly, you know?
Yeah.
And so then I'll try just switching it. I'll be like, maybe it just wasn't the right pairing. And so I'll take the words and put it with a different melody I have.
Sponsorship. Guys, I just want to interrupt for just a second and let you know that we do have a sponsor for today. It's just, I know it's the first episode, but it's so popular right now that we had a sponsor come up. So today's sponsor is 150 Music. 150 Music. Ah, surprise. That's my studio. But seriously, if you are a songwriter, a musician, a rapper in the Houston area, if you need a place to record, someone to work with you on your music, make your songs the best that they can be, then feel free to reach out to me, 150music.com. Fill out the free quote request, and if you put in the discount code SNACktime, then I'll give you 15% off our first project together. So let's do it. Now back to the show. So sometimes songs come together in like 30 minutes or less, and then sometimes it takes years to finalize a song. Like for you, like when do you know a song is done and you're like, I'm ready, I think this is done?
Well, I feel like my songs are always changing. Like, I have, like, the song I'm going to play for you today.
Yeah.
I wrote it over, like, months. So the first time that I, like, sat down to write it, I came up with the idea while I was eating dinner. And then I walked away from the table because I was like, oh, I can't, like, sing and record at the table. Like, that's rude. And it was while I was on the show. It was, like, the night before I got eliminated. Anyways.
Are you still thinking about it?
It's burned in my brain. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not, like, salty about it at all. They're like, you cannot say kicked off. I'm like, I will say whatever I want to say. Thank you very much. But no, so I came up with the idea while I was eating dinner, and I walked away from the table, and I recorded it, and then I went upstairs to our room, and I started playing it on the piano because they gave me a piano while I was on the show. And, like, probably, like, the first verse and chorus came together almost immediately, but I could not write a second verse for the life of me. And so it took until probably, like, 3 months later for me to write the second verse and the bridge. And then I felt like it was done, but it still, like, wasn't, like, shining yet. Like, I'm really proud of the song. Like, it's very different from what I've written. It has more of a pop edge to it. But it wasn't, like, it wasn't, like, perfect yet to me. And so then just, like, not sure, it was probably about a month ago, but I was in LA for my tour, and when we were there, I recorded this song with a good friend of mine. He's a producer and drummer from Houston, so cool. Tony Bronigal. He actually was in a Kelly Clarkson music video, but like didn't really know it, so kind of crazy. But
like in the background or something?
He was an Angry record executive.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look up Kelly Clarkson, I Don't Think About You, he's right there, like, being all angry and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, he's not an angry guy though, so I don't
now
really
he's
know.
a songwriter and you guys were working together on?
Yeah, so he produced this song, and like it just, like, the way he put the B3, which is another, I play organ, and it's really important to me. And the way that he, like, wove it into the song was just so cool. So I'm really happy with how that turned out.
That's awesome.
And it was, we worked together on it a lot, but the whole band that was recording it all had ideas, which was really cool. I'd never tracked like that before, like live tracking where you have the whole band in there all playing at the same time. I loved it though. Yeah,
that's really cool. It's like I mean, that's the older way of recording, definitely, where everybody's in the same room doing stuff. But right now, like I did a search on iTunes actually for your name, and only the voice stuff came up. So currently, you're doing these sessions and these recording sessions. Are you working on an album that will come out at some point? Or
So yes, I am. But I also have a little CD that's only out for the people that come to my shows on tour.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you can only buy the physical copies, and they're not even on my website.
Wow.
So yeah.
So it's almost like a little incentive to get people to actually come see you live.
Yeah.
I feel like that's such a big deal, and I love that. I mean, that was just like a nugget of truth for like all my songwriters out there, because it's like, how do you get people to come to your shows when music
So hard.
is so easily accessible, right? It's like, oh, I can just stream any song I want on Apple Music and be done with it. But the live experience, like that if we can make the live experience special and unique somehow, that will just, I think that's what will take a lot of artists to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact that you just have a physical CD there is super cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
I feel like the most important thing in a live show is like connecting with your audience. Like it's so easy when you're on tour to like get into putting the same exact show on every night.
Yeah.
But I try to change something every night so that it's unique, so that each area and each place that I'm going to, and it's really easy because the crowd's going to be different every night, the venue is going to be different every night, the city's going to be different every night, and I feel like dropping in like a little comment on something unique about their city just makes the experience so much more meaningful. And I think being there to like meet and talk to everyone that came out to support you after the show is also a very, very important aspect of being an artist, and it gets really tiring, but it's also so cool to meet everyone who is into you. So it's cool.
Especially if it's a girl that you encourage to keep playing trumpet.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I love talking to like young people who are like, dude, I didn't know I liked the music you play, the type of music you play until I heard you do it on the show, and now I love it. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. You know?
That's cool. Yeah. I mean, and just think like the longer you do this, like the more of those kind of impacts you'll have in the world. So
hopefully.
that's awesome. Okay. So one more question about songwriting, because one of the things I noticed when I was listening to a few of your videos were you have so much emotion when you sing, especially in those moments, those songs that really, I just feels like there's something there. And I feel like for me, that's what songwriting, or that's what a good song, if it conveys emotion, really like, well, sometimes when I listen to a song, actually there was a Mumford & Sons song the other day. It was like, I was listening to it at the gym. And I had actually heard the behind-the-scenes story of the song.
Was it on Song Exploder?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You know what song I'm talking about? It's called Beloved.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And you played organ to write it, and I was like, dude, this is so cool.
And I, I'm old. I'm definitely older than you for sure. And I've got to that point where like multiple people in my life have dealt with sickness and people have passed away, and that song being about his grandmother. So I didn't think about it until I heard the story, and then I'm listening to it. I was connecting emotionally with that after that, hearing that story, and then I was at the gym working out, but then I was like, I almost started crying. Like I was at the point of like, dang, this is like so powerful, and the music is driving. So I feel like emotion, like for me, like you'll win me over if like I can sense even if it's bad. Like a lot of times where like it doesn't have to be polished, but if it's emotional and authentic, then I feel like you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like when I listen to your songs, like it's how like it's the face, it's the like how you sing it, it's like getting into the song, like so. Like, do you think about that, or is that just what comes out when you play a song?
No, it's totally natural. Like, because sometimes I try to like stop doing it because people will be like, "Why are you making that face?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And so I'll like try to quit, and then I'm like, "I can't. I don't care. Like, if you don't like how."
What do they call those? My wife is gonna make fun of me for this, but like, what do you call those things? Like, oh, they're involuntary, right?
Yeah,
just, like blinking, I think is involuntary. I don't know for sure, but I think it is.
I'm with you.
So that's what it's like for you. It's like this song just brings that out, and you just.
Yeah, it's just like a part of the performance. Like I've always been doing it. I've never really been conscious of it. But like, it's just a part of me. It's part of me. It's part of my songs. It's part of me.
That's awesome. Okay, so the song is the session or the show or whatever we're gonna call this is it's called Snack Time, and I asked you what your favorite snack was, and so you said Twizzlers
in all caps.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if you got the all caps, but it was all caps.
That means that you like really like Twizzlers.
I really love Twizzlers.
Well, when I was at the store, I was telling you like I was amazed at the selection of Twizzlers because like I thought there was just one.
Yeah.
And then I like this one is sweet and sour, and then there's a chocolate one. And so like why? I mean, tell me your history of your Twizzler history. Is there a story there, or like What's behind that?
Okay, unfortunately, there's no story. There's no cool, like, Twizzler lead up, but I did not know there were so many flavors either. But I will say, people have always hated on Twizzlers. They've always, when I was in middle school.
The basic ones are kind of bland, or like, that's what
Those are my favorite.
Most people think.
Yeah, exactly. No, people are like, Twizzlers are so bad for you, like, you're gonna get cancer and die because you eat Twizzlers. And I'm like, what?
Man.
I'm like, I just want to leave me alone, you know? And so I've taken on this new mindset of shamelessly snacking on my Twizzlers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's my favorite tour snack. It's my favorite road snack. I try not to, like, eat them too much because, like, any candy is, like, not good for you, you know?
But you gotta live a little bit.
Right. You only live once. And Twizzlers are, I feel like, an important part of life. I don't know how I feel about the filled ones, though, so don't, if you're watching, like, you don't know. Like, don't worry about it.
Maybe Twizzlers will sponsor the show at some level.
I have emailed them.
Oh,
most of the time when I, like...
This is a story.
Yeah. Most of the time, like, when I email people to sponsor me, it's, like a microphone company or, like, Hammond organs, which, like... And it usually pans out, you know?
You gotta think more practically, like, what are you eating on a regular basis?
Right, I know. I'm like, hey, Chick-fil-A, will you sponsor me?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know. But they never responded, so I don't think they want me as an endorsement.
Maybe
but
one day.
I'm still gonna do it. They can pay me or they don't have to, but
maybe one day.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one vision I have of what this could be is, like, if people, now that they know that your favorite snack is Twizzlers, like at your show, people just like wave the Twizzlers back and forth and just be this like moment, you know?
Only if they give me some afterwards.
Maybe you could write a song about Twizzlers and then they would pick it up.
A jingle?
A jingle. A Twizzler jingle.
Oh my gosh, I'd be good at it.
Okay, so
they would have to pay me for that, though. Like,
definitely.
That's not going to be free.
Definitely. Okay, so tell me the name of the song you're going to play today.
This song's called You're Not Alone.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it about, like, feeling like you're the only person who believes in whatever you believe in. Because I've definitely been there. Like, not for very long, because I quickly realized, like, there's always someone else that believes in the same thing as you. And you just have to find people who are like-minded. And, like, you're never alone, you know? So I actually got to sing this song for, like, I've sang this for many performances, like, just little individual things. But I got to sing it for kids who are stuck in their beds for, like, because they're sick.
A picture, right?
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was super recent. And it, like, took on a whole new meaning for me. Wow. Like, besides that belief part, but also, like, if you're going through a hard time, there are so many other people who are there that are going through that time too. Just like how if you're a sick kid stuck in bed because you're too sick to not be in bed, there are other kids there that are with you. And there are people who aren't like feeling the same sickness and limitations as you are, but they're willing to, like, do stuff to, like, help make your time a little better, just like all of the artists that perform for that. So I feel like this song is not only about beliefs now, but like experiences and hard times. And I feel like all songs have, like, different meanings and interpretations depending on how you
can kind of unfold it a few different ways. So that's awesome. Okay, well, I will be quiet and then we'll take a short break and then allow you to play the song.
Cool. Ready when you're ready.
Okay, let's do it.
In the shadow of a lonely man, I watch you swim. In the shadow of a lonely man, I watch you win. In the world of a worn-out pair, I feel him bleed. In the world of a worn-out pair, I feel him need. When you're almost there and you can't see the ending, when you're so tired, it's time to
So awesome.
Woohoo!
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Man. I bet Reagan kills that song, huh?
Yay!
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
The chorus, the thing you do on the hi-hats on the chorus is like so cool.
The like shuffle.
Yeah.